For many people, golf can feel like a really expensive sport to play. Just getting out onto the golf course will require either a golf club membership or an expensive green fee, and then you have things like your equipment that you need and potentially lessons as well. But in our experience at Golf Monthly, the sport doesn't have to be quite as expensive as many people think it does, especially if you're smart about the way in which you spend your money. So with the current cost of living crisis that we're all going through and the squeeze on disposable incomes, we thought it was about time to produce a video looking at some of the smart ways that you can save money if you're looking to play golf. Okay, so I'm going to start by looking at golf club memberships and green fees. And when it comes to club memberships, the thing to look out for is a flexible option. And it's something many golf clubs offer. And the basic idea is that you pay a smaller amount up front, but then you would either pay each time you play, or there would be some kind of credit system, which would mean that you'd pay more when you're playing at peak times and less when you're playing at quiet times. So you could play in club medals on a Saturday morning, and that's going to require more credits than if you play late on a Monday afternoon, that sort of thing. It can be a really good cost-effective way to play more golf. Now on the green fee side of things, there's a similar idea here, which is that golf clubs are often quietest after 4 p.m. and so look out on the websites of different golf clubs for twilight green fee rates. They tend to be a little bit discounted, and it's a fantastic way, especially in the summer, to get out there, see different golf courses and then play them at times which are often really quiet, and a really good way of playing different golf courses at a discounted rate. So that hopefully that's two ways in which you can play a little bit more golf without paying too much more. Now for me, one of the biggest misconceptions around golf is that it costs an absolute fortune to kit yourself out. Now, of course, golf can be really expensive in this department, but it doesn't have to be. And in my experience, there are a whole host of brands that offer really good quality golf clubs and balls, accessories at affordable prices. I'm thinking off the top of my head about Inesis, which is sold through Decathlon, McGregor, Ben Ross, Kirkland, and then probably slightly more expensive, but sitting below some of those top premium brands would be brands like Wilson and Tour Edge. It pays to do your homework in this regard, but there is definitely some options out there when it comes to price. And I think what they all do really well is they provide golf clubs that are simple and classic. They look good in the bag and behind the ball. And then when it comes to the performance, they're sort of solid all-rounders. If you make a good swing, you'll get a good result. If you don't make a good swing, they will forgive the odd miss hit. So just keep an eye out for some of these other brands. They can unlock more in terms of performance at a slightly less expensive price. Now, another way to buy golf equipment is to go second-hand. Obviously, you've got Facebook and eBay, but then you've also got some golf-specific second-hand retailers. My advice here would be to really have a very close think about what you need, think about your specs, and then go in search of those specs and try and do it in an affordable way. If you do your homework and you do enough research, you can uncover some real hidden gems that can unlock higher levels of performance without having to spend too much doing it. Another one that relates to getting out and playing more golf is to keep your eyes peeled for golf club open competitions. So most golf clubs will have at some point during their season an open competition where anyone with a handicap could come along and play in the competition, and often they're really, really good value for money. So you might play 2 rounds in a day, so it might even be 36 holes. They usually throw in some food as well. And when you look at the price, you might think, well, that's a really good way of playing a great golf course for a bit less. I know that for some people, this is the way in which they like to spend their sort of visiting money playing golf. It doesn't cost too much, and it can mean that you get a little bit more for your money. Now, my next one relates to tech in golf. And as you can imagine, there's an awful lot of tech in golf. Things that relate to sort of shot tracking, through to GPS watches, laser rangefinders, launch monitors. And if you want to get involved with the tech that's surrounding golf but don't want to pay a fortune, then there are some really good free apps that you can use. Apps that will offer you yardages while you're out on the golf course, the ability to keep your score, the chance that often they'll sync up with an Apple Watch, for instance, to give you all of that on your wrist as well. So keep an eye out for some of these free apps. One that I've used, that I've enjoyed in the past, is called Hold 19. It has that functionality that I was just talking about there, and it's particularly good if you're playing courses that you don't know very well. Those hole maps, overhead hole views can be really useful. So look out for some of the free golf apps. It can be a good way of using new tech without having to pay for it. Now, if you're watching this video, not only do you want to play more golf, but you probably want to play a bit better as well. And this is where lessons come in. And of course, it pays to invest in lessons with a good quality coach, where that coach can have a look at you individually and see what you're doing. But there are some other ways you could do it as well. Obviously, there's a whole host of free resources out there. YouTube, Golf Monthly website, where you've got really high level coaches offering advice, insight into the golf swing so that you can understand it a little bit better. And then particularly around things like strategy, where you can find out how really good players think on the golf course to get the ball around the course in as fewer shots possible. That can really help. And then if you're looking for lessons specifically, but don't want to pay a premium for sort of one-on-one lessons, then maybe think about group lessons. Lots of golf clubs will offer it, lots of driving ranges will offer you the chance to join a group where you'll get access to a PGA Pro, but for a little bit less money. Now, the last one on my list is about the resale value of your golf equipment. Now, for some people, when they buy golf clubs, they do have one eye on the resale value later down the line of their equipment. There's a few things you can do to retain that value. Obviously, keep your clubs in as good a condition as possible. They're not for everyone, but iron head covers might be a good way to go. Make sure you've got good quality head covers on all of your woods. And then just things like keep the wrenches if you've got adjustable woods, make sure you don't lose those, and keep your grips in really good condition. It's something that a lot of golfers don't do, is clean their grips. If you think about all of the grime and the grease and the dirt that gets caught up in your golf grips over the course of a season, give them a clean fairly regularly, and you'll find just how much this improves the quality of the performance of the grip, the traction that you get from those grips. So just a few things you can do there to help improve the resale value of your golf clubs. Okay, so there you have it. That's my look at how you can play golf in the sort of most affordable way possible. Hopefully you found that useful. If you have any other thoughts, ideas on this, please leave some comments below. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.